Hi, good evening. It's Darryl here. Sorry I wasn't able to make last week. For one reason or another, the scheduling got out of place. But anyway, I'm back this week, and following a similar format to the last few weeks, I'm going to share with you. And hi, Darryl here. Sorry, I don't think that quite started off live at the correct time, so let's start that again. Sorry I wasn't here last week. Got a little bit diverted and forgot to start up at 7 o'clock. Skipped last week, but back here again, live and in the flesh. I'm going to give you an update about where we're at currently with regards to driving lessons and tests, etc. And then I'm going to be showing you a video that I did recently about budget driving lessons whilst you're in lockdown that you can get from me using the Zoom media. Where are we at? As you can see from my dedicated page on my website, we've got the latest updates. So if you do want to know what's going on, you can go to my website, go to the Covid-19 update page, and you should be able to scroll back and quite quickly find the most relevant information. So since we last spoke, the main changes that have been, some of which are less relevant to learners than others, but anybody who's wanting to or needing to renew a driving licence has been given a 7-month extension. As I said, I'm offering driving lessons via Zoom, but we'll come back to that later. The next thing is theory tests. There have been 2 changes, but the most recent one supersedes the first one. So all theory tests that were booked up until the 3rd of July, so that's a couple of weeks away, they've been rescheduled again. So theory tests are not going ahead. But most importantly, the driving tests, we've finally got some information from the DVSA. They've been quite slow in giving us any updates, but just at the 11th hour they have now told us that they are further suspending driving tests, and what they've done now is, rather than rearrange everybody's tests to a date that never happens, is they're just putting them on hold. So if you have a driving test booked currently, you should already or will be receiving shortly another email from the DVSA telling you that your driving test has been cancelled and has been put on hold. And then what will happen is that in the not too distant future, you'll get another email, hopefully not too distant anyway, that invites you to go back on and to reschedule your driving test to suit yourself and your instructor. So look out for those emails, and obviously for my pupils, if you can be in touch with me when you get them, so that we can make sure that we get them rescheduled to a date that makes sense and hopefully allows us to get the relevant practice in. So what this also means is that we're not able to restart driving lessons. There was some talk of people starting driving lessons from the 6th of July, but as of today, that information hasn't, or that change of guidelines hasn't occurred. So driving tests and driving lessons still can't go ahead. So I'm still in my holiday mode, doing the DIY and sunbathing, although obviously not today. Other thing just to mention very quickly is that provisional license applications have restarted. So if you were in the process of wanting to start to drive, recently turned your 17th birthday, you will now be able to apply for your provisional driving license. So as I said earlier, if you ever want to try and find out in a quick and concise way exactly what's going on, then come to this page on my website and you'll be able to find the latest updates. I post these as and when they occur. So the second part this evening, as I say, I just want to show a video from my YouTube channel that just gives details of the driving lessons that I am offering via Zoom, and an idea of the sort of thing that you could expect to get from these, and how they'll be conducted. So I'll let that start playing. I am still here whilst it's playing, so if anybody has any comments or questions, then please just flag them up there and I will answer them whilst the video plays. Thank you.
Right, so today let's talk about how you can calendar during lockdown and how
also how you can continue to learn better once you actually restart your driving lessons using Zoom. Dal from Select Driving School. I want to talk to you today about something that's become really popular during the lockdown, and that's Zoom, and how you can use this tool to improve your driving. I've been offering Zoom driving lessons during lockdown, and they've been received really well. I've helped a number of people so far to improve their theory, and also looking at certain aspects of driving. We've got certain roundabouts in Halifax that people find difficult, and they found actually being able to step back and talk about them in a video environment away from the car really helpful, and looking forward to getting them back in the car and just seeing how they've improved. And in case of the theory ones, hopefully they're going to be able to get their theory passed sooner rather than later. So these lessons are available as of now, and I will be continuing them once I restart in-car driving lessons. And prices start from just £3 for a short booster session, so they are extremely economic. So the idea with Zoom is obviously to work in groups, so ideally these will be given to up to 3 people at a time, and you benefit from working within a group by hearing what others think, ask, and their ideas and their tips. As well as face-to-face coaching, we're also going to be using a comprehensive set of visual aids to try and bring the subjects to life and to try and help with explaining them. So we're going to use things such as situational diagrams. Here we've got an example of some crossroads, and we can use these to illustrate different aspects of crossroads and the different markings and things that you may have to commonly deal with. We can further help that by using the on-screen drawing facilities that you get within Zoom to show, point out things in the same way as you might use a whiteboard. As well as diagrams, we also have the ability to do theory practice. So we've got a whole range of subjects from the theory app that we can bring up on screen and share, and we can choose the subjects we want to go through, and then we can work through individual questions. So working potentially as a group on the more difficult questions to work out what the answers are, why they are those answers, and also why the other answers don't make sense. Again, helping you to understand good exam technique for the test and how to actually be confident with the answers that you come up with. I also have syllabus-based videos. These are computer generated, professionally produced, and they'll take you through a whole range of subjects, from the basics of getting going through to the various manoeuvres. Here we see an example of the parallel park manoeuvre. Hazard perception, again, in the same way as the theory practice, we can also work through hazard perception videos on a joint basis and have a look at those. And YouTube videos. I've got a whole host of YouTube videos. Some are subject based, some go through helping you pass the driving test and helping you understand what mistakes other people make. And also the new style theory questions, where we have situations and you have to answer a series of questions about those based on a video rather than a passage of reading. So a whole host of things that we can do. The subject matter will be set based on demand. You can have, put your own particular requirements in there, and we'll shape the lesson around you. Hopefully you found this useful. If you do, if you can do the usual, click like, or you leave me a comment on my website or my YouTube channel, and that would be gratefully received. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So that's the end of the video, and what we'll do is just close that. So that's the end of tonight's session. Try and keep it short and sweet. If anybody has any questions, if they want to flag them up now. Otherwise, I will bid you all farewell and have the rest of a good evening. And I'll see you all again same time next week for another update and another video to watch as well. Thank you and good night.